Hi students, so let's see last chapter, chapter 5, banking innovations under the subject banking operations and innovations. So in this video, I'm going to cover the following contents. That is first one, meaning of advantages of electronic banking, disadvantages of electronic banking, e-banking services. Under that, we have different services which has been provided by the bank. That is ATM, automated teller machine, internet banking, mobile banking, telebanking, electronic fund transfer, EFT, standing instructions, online mutual fund investment, smart cards. So these are the different e-banking services which is provided by the bank to their customers. Next, debit card, advantages of debit card, disadvantages of debit card, credit card, advantages of credit card and disadvantages of credit card. So the advantages and disadvantages of debit card and credit card may ask for 6 marks question or 5 marks question. So let's see first topic, that is meaning of e-banking. So before going to the meaning of e-banking, so the last chapter, that is chapter 5, banking innovations, is purely related to the recent innovations or recent changes which has been taken place in the banking sectors or banking organization. So we can observe there is a lot of changes which has been taken in the banking sector. That is, rather than following the traditional method to the modern method, means they're changing their transaction or they're changing the process or they're changing the business into the electronic mode. So before, what the bank were doing, just they're going to collect the deposit from the customer and they're going to provide the loan facilities to the customer on a manual basis. Means from the customer they're going to collect the amount in a one place, and the same amount will be provided to the customer at the same place. Either it may be transferred to the account. Now the process of banking services or banking transaction has been changed or it has been modified to the electronic mode. That innovations will be called as banking innovations. So under that banking innovation, the major part will be e-banking or electronic banking. So when we see the meaning of electronic banking, the name only suggests that we are going to provide or we are going to do the banking services. Either it may be deposit of money or withdrawal of the money or getting the loan amount from the bank or spending the loan amount. So all these services or all the process will be done with the help of the electronic media. Either it may be mobile or it may be laptop or it may be help of the internet facilities. So that changes, that process will be called as electronic banking. So to say in simple terms, electronic banking is nothing but doing the banking activities. Either it may be deposit or it may be withdrawal or it may be transfer of amount from one account to the another account with the help of electronic mode. So that will be called as electronic banking or e-banking. So they have given the meaning that e-banking or electronic banking is a major innovation in the field of banking. So already we have discussed that it is the major innovation which has been taken in the banking sector. Earlier, banking was conducted in a very traditional manner. There were no such innovations because they used to collect the amount from the customer in the form of deposit as a manual, and they're going to provide the amount to the customer as a manual. Means the bank is going to experience the personal contact with the customer. But after the innovation of the e-banking services, there will be no personal contact or personal connections with the customer. Information revolution led to the evolution of the internet, which led to e-commerce, continued by the evolution of e-banking. So before introduction of the e-banking, we used to see the concept called as e-commerce. Means by sitting at a single place or anywhere, we're going to purchase the goods from different country or different places. That is called as e-commerce. So after the introduction of the e-commerce, then it has been introduced to the banking sectors. That is called as e-banking. So next, what is an e-bank? So majorly many of them will think that e-bank is nothing but by using the internet, we're going to do the banking activities. So whenever we want to do e-banking services or e-banking activities, we need all the, or we can see all the activities or the services. One, we need internet. Next, web-based mobile network has to be provided. Automated telephone should be there. ATM network, SMS and fax messaging, multi-purpose information, kiosk, web TV and others. So all will be included in the e-bank activities. So e-channels enable financial transactions from anywhere and allow non-stop working time, because there will be no restrictions on a time constraint. Means within so much of time the banking activities has to be performed. For example, when we are going to do the manual activities or manual banking transaction, then we need to follow the time which has been fixed by the banking, that is 10 to 3. Within that period we need to do the banking transaction. But with the help of the e-banking or e-banking innovations, whenever we want or wherever we are staying, we can easily transfer the amount or we can do the banking transaction. That is the major advantage we are going to get when we are adopting the e-bank facilities or e-banking activities. Next, we'll see what are the advantages of e-banking. So here I'm going to divide it the advantages for the banks and for the small to medium business enterprises and for the customers. So let's see what are the advantages of e-banking for the bank. First one, large customer coverage, reducing the cost of operations. Because when the bank is concentrating on the manual transaction, they need to open the branch in a different areas and they need to provide the different facilities for the different customers. So that may be a huge burden for the bank to conduct the activities or operations. But with the help of e-banking services, without establishing the branches in a different places and without providing the mature investment or without investing the amount on the operations or activities, the bank can easily provide the services to the customer wherever they are located. So two benefits: one, they're getting the large customers, and ultimately they're going to reduce the cost of operations. Second, promoting their services and product internationally, because whenever the bank was concentrating only on the manual transaction, then they're just limited to their national level, that is within the country. Now when they're concentrating on the e-banking services, so wherever the customer is located, either it may be in India or in the different countries, he can easily do the transaction and he can get done the banking activities. So e-banking provided or e-banking services is helping the bank to promote their services and product internationally. They can promote their bank to the international persons or international customer who are located in the different countries. Next, increasing the customer satisfaction and providing a personalized relationship with the customer. So whenever the customer want to do the transaction, that already we have seen that 24/7 he can do the transaction, and whenever he want any information, he can directly approach or he can call the customer care and he can get the information. So that is, it is increasing the customer satisfaction and providing the personalized relationship with the customer. So that is the benefits for the bank. Next, we'll see what are the benefits for small to medium businesses to run its operations more effectively. So because if the small or medium enterprises, they need to run their operation, they need the amount which may be small, and it may be immediately they may require the amount because they need to purchase the raw materials or they need to pay the amount for the customers or they need to pay the amount for the supplies on an immediate basis. So if they're concentrated or if they have depended on the bank on a manual basis, then they need to wait for the certain time period. So if they are adopting the e-banking services, whenever they want, they can provide the or they can do the transaction. So it is going to help the small and medium enterprises. Their operations can be done more effectively. Second, lower cost than traditional financial management mechanism. So even the cost of getting the loan or depositing the amount or transferring the amount, it is beneficial or the cost of incur by the customer or the small and medium enterprises will be reduced. Means when they following the manual transaction, they need to go for the bank, the transportation will be charged or burden will be there, and they need to wait for the certain time period, and after that they need to come back again, the transportation cost will be there. So that will be a cost for the small and medium enterprises. But when they are following the e-banking services, the cost will be reduced. So that is the point called as lower cost than the traditional financial management mechanisms. Next, we'll see what are the benefits for customers. That is convenience, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 24 into 7 they can do the transaction. Next, cost reducing transfer fees. Next, speed, faster circulation of asset, so they can easily transfer the asset or amount within a short period of time. Next, competitiveness, fostering competition in the financial market. So whenever there is any fluctuations in the financial market, so directly they can get the amount or they can easily transfer the amount. Communicate easily. So 24/7 they're going to provide the services. So whenever they need any information, they can easily call the customer's care and they can get the information. Next, abolishing the uses of paper, that is called as green management or green accounting. So they're going to reduce the uses of paper, either it may be checks or it may be drafts or it may be any other pains slips. So it will be reduced when we're using the e-banking services. Next, offering one-stop shop solution rather than going for the different branches or different banks. Wherever we are staying, there only we can do the transaction. For an example, when we want to transfer the amount from one account to the another account, by staying at home, we can use the Paytm or Phone Pay or it may be Google Pay. So by just clicking the account number and just providing the password, we can easily transfer the amount from the same place to the different customers. That is the benefit which has been provided for the customer from the e-banking. So when we see the advantages, again we have the disadvantages of the e-banking also. So let's see what are the disadvantages of e-banking. First one, a need for customer skill to deal with computers and browsers. So if the customer or the person is not having the sufficient information or sufficient knowledge regarding the usage of computers and internet facilities, then he may feel difficult of using the e-banking services. That is, most of the Indians, they're feeling difficult to transfer the amount with the help of e-banking or internet banking. So that may also be disadvantages of e-banking because of lack of knowledge or lack of information. They may not use the e-banking services. Many people who are not comfortable with computers and internet often find it difficult to use the internet banking. So already explained. For beginners, internet banking is really time consuming because whenever we want to start the internet banking, we need to follow or we need to take the time in order to complete this certain process. They need to log in that, they need to provide the details, they need to provide the PAN card information, they need to provide the other details, they need to provide the banking information or bank account information. So there are certain process has to be completed. After that, they need how they're going to do the internet banking. So it may be a time consuming process for the beginners. Once you are completed all the process, then it will be easy for the customer to do the transaction. Next, in many instances, a simple mistake like clicking a wrong button may create a big problem. It states that when the customer is transferring the amount of rupees 1 lakh, rather than entering 1 lakh rupees, if we add 10 extra, that is nothing but 10 lakhs he going to send to the customer account. And ultimately, and at the same time, whenever you're transferring any amount to the customer, and when you're entering the account, if you are mistakenly enter the one number of the account number, then it will be transferred to a different customer's account. So whenever you are using the e-banking, we need to be careful because one mistake may lead to the wrong, or it may transfer the amount to the different account, and it will be a big problem for the customer, because you need to transfer the 1 lakh rupees, but rather than transferring 1 lakh rupees, you have transferred the 10 lakh rupees. And at the same time, rather than transferring the amount to the Mr. Hemant account, you may transfer to the Mr. Srimant account. So that will be a big problem for the customers. So these are the disadvantages of e-banking. Next, we have the different e-banking services which will be provided or which are providing by the banking sectors. That is ATM. So already we know that automated teller machine. So whenever we want, we can go for the ATMs and we can withdraw the amount. Only the condition, we need to maintain the amount in the account. Next, internet banking, mobile banking, telebanking, electronic fund transfer, standing instructions, online mutual fund investment, smart cards, that is debit card as well as the credit card. So all or any of them, they ask for 2 marks question. So it will be explained in the detail in the next slides. So first we'll see the smart cards. That is first one, debit card. So whenever we hear the word called as debit card as well as the credit card, some of them feel that they are both same, but there are a lot of differences, a lot of distinction between the debit card as well as the credit card. So what is the debit card means? To say in simple term, debit card is nothing but it's a plastic card, because we can see the plastic, or it will be given in the plastic form, and which provides an alternative payment method to cash for purchases. Means whenever you are going to purchase any product, any shops, rather than providing the cash, if you provide the debit card, they're going to accept and you can get the product which is required by you. So it's a replacement of cash to purchase the product. And debit card is a plastic card. It is going to provide the benefit for the customer, whatever the products they need or whatever the service they need, they can immediately get without the help of the cash. And the debit card will be provided for all the customer. We're going to open the account with the bank, and if they want to do the transaction with the help of debit card, they are supposed to maintain the minimum balance, or they are supposed to maintain the balance in their account. Means if you are using the debit card, then the debit card will be restricted only to the amount which are maintained in the account or in your account. So that is the debit card. Functionally, it can be balanced or it can be called as an electronic check, as the funds are withdrawn directly from either the bank account or from the remaining balance on the card. It is also known as bank card or check card. Debit card can also allow for the instant withdrawal of cash, acting as the ATM card for withdrawing cash and as a check guarantee card. Merchants can also offer cashback or cash out facilities to customer, where a customer can withdraw cash along with their purchase. This is the meaning of debit card. Now let's see what are the advantages of. So there are different types of debit card you can observe. So this is specimen of the examples for the debit card. So this is the account number, and there will be name of the party and valid period that is issued, and the expiry date will be given, and name of the card. All the details will be mentioned on the debit card, and this will be the chip which details will of the account will be given. So next we'll see what are the advantages of debit card. First one, a consumer who is not credit worthy and may find difficult to or impossible to get or obtain a credit card facility can mainly depend or easily obtain a debit card. So if any customer who failing or who is having the problem regarding the credit worthiness, means they cannot repay the amount to the person who has taken the or from whom he has taken the amount. So in such a case, rather than taking the credit card, he can go for the debit card. So credit card will be given only for the customer who is in a position to repay the amount, but the credit card will be given for all the customer who are already opened the account with the bank. That is the major advantage. Use of debit card is limited to the existing funds in the account to which it is linked. So up to the limit, the amount which has been maintained by the customer in their personal account, so much we can withdraw the amount from the account. That is the restrictions. More than that, you cannot withdraw the amount. For most transaction, a check card can be used to avoid check writing all together. So rather than writing the check, they can use the, for most transaction, a check card can be used to avoid check writing all together. So rather than writing the checks, that is called as negotiable instrument, we can use the debit card to transfer the amount. Next, like credit card, debit card are accepted by the merchant with less identification. So the merchant, that is who has provided the services, it will be accepted by the merchants rather than the cash. Unlike a credit card with charges, higher fees and interest rate when a cash advance is obtained, a debit card may be used to obtain cash from an ATM or a PIN-based transaction at no extra charge other than a foreign ATM fee. So the major advantage of debit card is they're not the bank is not collecting any amount from the customer for withdrawing the amount. But for the providing the services, the debit card facilities, the bank is going to deduct the small portion of the amount from the customer account. When compared to the creditor, it will be lesser. Next, disadvantages of debit card. Some banks are now charging over limit fees or non-sufficient fund fees based upon pre-authorization. Many merchants mistakenly believe that amounts owed can be taken from a customer account after a debit card has been presented. And last one, in some countries, debit cards are offer lower levels of security protection than the credit cards. So advantages, and even there is disadvantages for the debit card. So you can write on your own basis. Next, we have the credit card. So already we have discussed the meaning of credit card. The credit card is nothing but it is also a plastic card or plastic money which is issued by the bank only for the customer who is eligible or who have the capacity to repay the amount to the account. Means even though they are not maintaining the sufficient balance in their account, up to a certain limit they can withdraw the amount. But in the debit card, the customer has to maintain the certain balance, or they need to maintain the balance up to the balance which has been maintained by the customer. They are allowed to withdraw the amount. But in the case of credit card, they're not maintaining any amount in their account, but the bank is providing the facilities to the customer. They can withdraw the amount for a up to a certain limit. That is the credit card facility provided by the bank. So a credit card is part of a system of payments named after the small plastic card issued to users of the system. So it is also a plastic card. It is a card entitling its holder to buy goods and services based on the oldest premise to pay for these goods and services. Means the bank is going to pay the amount, and after that they're going to collect the amount from the customer. The issuer of the card grants a line of credit to the customer. That is, they're going to put the restrictions, or they're going to sanction the amount for a certain limit from which the user can borrow money for the payment to a merchant or as a cash advance to the user. A credit card is different from a charge card, where a charge card requires the balance to be paid in full each month. In contrast, credit card allows the customer to revolve the balance at the cost of having interest charged. Most credit cards are issued by the local banks or credit unions and are shaped and size specified by the ISO 7810 standard. So to say in simple terms, credit card is nothing but it is also a small plastic card which is provided by the bank to the customer who is eligible or who are capable of repaying the amount, who are credit worthy, and they can withdraw the amount even though they are not maintaining any balance in their account. So this is the specimen or example for the credit card. Next, benefits. Due to intense competition in the credit card industry, credit card providers offers incentives such as, so for the customer, they're going to provide the different benefits, that is frequent flyer points. Credit points will be provided to the customer. Gift certificates will be provided, means they're going to provide the gift certificate, that is nothing but if you are purchasing the amount or more than this amount, they're going to provide the extra benefit. And when you are using the credit card, we're going to get the cash back from the merchant or the service provider. Lower interest credit cards will be provided, and even 0% interest cards are available by the different banks. Next, benefits to merchants, that is, we are going to provide the services. A credit card transaction is often more secure than the other form of payment. So some industries or some merchants, rather than accepting the different forms of payment, that is either it may be checks or it may be drafts or the debit card, they feel that the credit card is more trustworthy. So that is, a credit card transaction is often more secure than the other forms of payment such as check, because the issuing bank commits to pay the merchant and the moment the transaction is authorized, regardless of whether the customer defaults on the credit card payment. Because whenever they are providing the services to the customer, immediately they're going to get the amount from the bank, whether the customer is paying or repaying the amount to the bank or not. More secure than cash because they discourage the theft by the merchant employees and reduce the amount of cash on the premises. Directly the amount will be transferred to the account of the merchant. Next, prior to the credit cards, each merchant had to evaluate each customer's credit history before extending credit. So whenever he is going to provide any credit facilities to the customer by the merchant, then you will see what is the credit worthiness of the customer, and that credit worthiness will be analyzed with the help of the credit card only. Next, disadvantages of credit are overuse, because when we are having the amount, for an example, I have the amount of rupees 100 rupees or 100, then I will think that how to spend that 100 rupees. And if I'm having the 500 rupees, and I will think that how to spend the 500 rupees. And if the customer having the 50,000, and he will think that how to spend the 50,000, because he need to pay the amount or interest amount on the unused balance. So it may lead to the problem for the customer. They may be overused without the limitations or without any benefit. They're going to spend the amount for purchasing the unnecessary things which is not required for the customer. Next, there may be high cost fees, that is, you purchase will suddenly become much more expensive if you carry. High cost fees will be there. Security issues will also be there. Credit cards can be stolen as can cash. Even similar to the cash, the credit card can also be stolen or it can be thefted. Last one, credit cards issue a monthly spending limit, means they're just putting the restrictions. So based upon that restrictions only we need to do the transaction. That is, while they are mostly high, if you exceed it, you may face even bigger charges. So if a credit card is not used wisely, people can get into debt or even bankruptcy. So these are the different disadvantages of the credit card.